Hi, and welcome to Electric Hockey. I'm Steve Between the Pipes Brown, and that is...
I'm Stu Holy Goalie Pace.
You know what? It's not Electric Hockey. Don't show the belly.
It's
Electric Football. And it's our preview show. We are frighteningly ill-prepared, but we're going to tell you what's going to happen this season. And Stu is going to start us up.
all right. Well, as usual, we go division by division, and poorly at that. But we always start kind of in the same order. So all of you have been watching us for years can say, "Oh yeah, they always start with the AFC East." But we're going to start.
If you've been watching us for years, you can get a life.
Yeah, really. So we're starting with the AFC East, and what we're going to do is go through each division and tell you who think we're going to win it, who do we think is going to win each division, and maybe we'll even give you a Super Bowl pick at the end of the show. I hadn't even thought about it, so we'll go with that later. So we'll start with the AFC East: Patriots, Dolphins, Bills, Jets, and that's kind of the order that I think they're going to go in.
Wow, we agree. All right, let's do a real quick and shallow analysis.
Yes.
Patriots, they still have the best coach. They still have the best quarterback.
Right.
It's a huge advantage over the rest of the division. The jump from Brady to Tannehill or the next best quarterback in the East is probably the biggest in football. Mm-hmm. So you got to go with the Pats. Is that a Tannehill you're wearing?
It is a Tannehill.
I didn't know if it was a Tannehill or a Ted Ginn. Sorry. But Tannehill's on the upswing. The Dolphins need some production out of that rookie running back whose name is?
His name is Lamar Miller, and he's been looking pretty good in the preseason. The defense is the difference this year. They look pretty freaking awesome this year. They really shored it up. They got Daniel Ellerbe. They got Brent Grimes. They're rushing the quarterback from every corner, everywhere. I think this is going to be the most improved defense in the league this year.
Ellerbe and Wake could be a frightening combination, and they can get after the quarterback.
Absolutely.
Then we go down to the Bills, who lost E.J. Manuel, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Something like that.
No timeline yet on him.
Right.
But Cobb out probably forever.
He was the hope for your future in Buffalo, and now there is no future in Buffalo.
I was in Buffalo for the draft because I was on business, and I was sitting in a bar with all the Bills fans, and all you could hear them go is, "Oh, crap."
Well, it got even crappier because he's now hurt. When you're bringing in Matt Leinart, and that's you're going to be your backup, you're done.
Mm-hmm. And even C.J. Spiller's still just an exciting back, but he's not going to win games.
As a Clemson guy, I love C.J. Spiller, but there's only so much. He's not a 35 carry a game Adrian Peterson type back.
Right.
And then we go to the bottom of the division, which you wouldn't. It's hard to believe that there's going to be somebody under Buffalo, but the Jets are imploding. I mean, like Fukushima meltdown kind of imploding. Yeah. Geno Smith threw 3 interceptions and probably won in a preseason game and probably won the starting job. Dirty Sanchez got hurt.
Yep.
And Jets fans were not sad to see that.
Would you be?
The only thing Geno Smith hasn't done better than Mark Sanchez is invent a new type of fumble.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
the butt fumble's still a classic. It's my favorite video clip ever.
Yes. So, and Rex Ryan yesterday was doing the press conference meltdown. They're a mess. It's the end of the Rex Ryan regime coming up. John Itzig has already said, no, we'll be choosing the starting quarterback. You can see the power just falling away from Rex Ryan.
And kind of here's what you have for this year. Cash some paychecks and have a nice day. Plus, they lost Lex Hilliard, who at least is a back that can give you some kick returns. He can run the ball. They're just falling apart.
On the defensive side, no Revis.
Nobody.
Dean Milner is supposed to take over that spot. It's not going to happen.
I called CBS and asked them to please show other games this year. Honestly.
He's got a lot of pull with CBS.
I do.
Anyway, that's our AFC East preview.
That's it. We'll be right back with some more Electric Football.
Some more of that stuff.
And we're back with Electric Football Season Preview 2013. Here's what we're going to do next. We're going to do what we like to call the AFC North. This is Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and, of course, Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I'm looking at it this way. I'm not ready to give up on Baltimore yet. They lost a lot of guys. Ray Lewis retired. Thank you. Ed Reed's gone. I don't see them. Who was the wide receiver left? What's his face? They caught everything. Yeah, Bolden. But they still have Torrey Smith. They still have Ray Rice. They still have Joe Flacco. They've finalized their offensive line, which is that change last year got them to the Super Bowl. They solidified the O-line. Their defense is always good enough to win games. I don't see them going out and not being in first place in the division. I'm not predicting Super Bowl, but I think they win the division.
All right, so you like the Ravens?
I do.
I don't. There are certain teams that I fall for every year, and I don't know why. Usually their name starts with a B, and in this case it's the Bengals.
Okay.
I know that this might sound crazy, but I honestly think that the losses that Baltimore have drop them down. I think the Bengals are a young and upcoming team. They've got a pretty aggressive defense, a sort of underrated defense with Geno Atkins and a very attacking style. And they've got a lot of playmakers on offense. You need A.J. Green to stay healthy. You need Andy Dalton to be a little more consistent.
Well, that's my fear with them.
But there's a sense in this division of a changing of the guard. The Ravens did it last year. They made it. And I think they just sort of said, okay, that was our last hurrah. I see the Steelers as really aging. And
I have them in the bottom. I think Cleveland beats them.
Wow. Stu and I are agreeing on a lot of stuff.
It's amazing. It's 2013.
I believe Cleveland is going to beat them too, and there's only one reason for that, Trent Richardson.
Yeah.
The guy is just a total stud. And as long as the rest of the Browns don't get in his way, he's going to carry him past the Steelers. I don't see where the Steelers are going to have any sort of offensive firepower. I don't see where their points are going to come from. And I don't think they're going to keep Big Ben healthy that long.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it this way. You know, with Cincinnati, they've got Ray Malingalingalaga guy. They've got James Harrison, Newman, Nelson, Burfict, all on defense. They're peaking at the right time. They could overtake Baltimore. I'm not saying they won't. I'm just not ready to write Baltimore off. I do like Cincinnati, but I'm still not a Ginger fan. I don't love Dalton. But I do like, you know, they've got Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, so they've got the rookie Giovanni Bernard. He could spell the law firm, and they could have a very good season. They could very likely win the division. I like Cleveland. It's one of the teams that I've always liked ever since I'm a kid. Brandon Weeden is starting to look like a very strong quarterback. He was older coming out. Was he like 37? But, he's coming into his age now. He's looking like a strong quarterback, and I love Trent Richardson. Their wide receiver core is kind of shaky, so that's going to be why Cleveland's not there yet. They're probably a year or so away from really being a contender.
Yeah, they don't have the overall talent to win this division. As a former Ginger, but gone gray, I take a little offense. I take a little offense to that. I was totally a redhead. I was Danny Bonaducci.
Oh my God! I think I love you
with the white man fro and everything. God, don't look at my 7th grade picture.
Yeah, sorry.
But
I agree. I think Pittsburgh, I just think they're done. Big Ben's still a strong quarterback. He looks a little thinner on TV so far this year. I don't know if that's good for him. He's always shaking guys off, while he's trying to throw the ball. But I don't think they look good otherwise, and I don't expect much from this year.
All right, so we'll flip-flop at the top of the division.
Okay.
I'm going to take the Bengals as an up-and-coming team with, surprisingly, what I would think is the best defense in this division that was known for its great defenses for the years. And you're going to say the Ravens can hold on even though Joe Flacco ate up the entire salary cap.
That's okay.
All right.
We'll be back with more electric football after these commercial messages.
All right. We're going to move to the AFC South, which I thought was the AFC North up until about 10 seconds ago. Stu, you want to lead us in on this one? Since I don't know geographically where the South is.
Yeah, this is Houston, Indy, Tennessee, Jacksonville. This is it for Houston. I'm sorry. I think, as you said before, there's a team that always gets you all excited at the beginning of the year and then always falls flat on their face. It's Houston. It begins with an H every year for me. When are you going to do it? J.J. Watt, you big steroid freaking thing. You're all wonderful.
You go say it's steroids.
Come on, who's J.J.
That's
Watt?
Human growth hormone, not steroids.
Learn your
PEDs.
I'm sorry. So anyway, but this is the year for Houston. I really think that they're going to put together a season. I know Arian Foster's kind of limping around right now, but they're in a division that they should wipe up. They should have 6 free games against the Colts, the Jaguars, and the Titans. The Titans are improving, but nothing to scare what should be the divisional champ, Houston Texans, and quite frankly, the AFC Championship, Houston Texans. That's my selection. I put them out there every year, and they underperform, but their offense is powerful, their defense is strong, and they're pretty strong in every category, quite frankly. So shut up and win it, or I pull the plug deep out of the heart of Texas.
Stu's going to the whip on the
on
the Texans. He's riding that pony.
And
And
then
you know
there's
what?
3 other teams.
So am I. It's really just a question of if they can stay healthy.
Mhm.
If Schaub and Andre Johnson can stay healthy, if Arian Foster can stay on the field, they are the best team in this division.
Mhm.
I don't think J.J. Watt. We didn't mean to disparage you, Mr. Watt.
Yes, we
Please don't come up the back stairs and beat up Stewart like you did last year. I was going to call you Lurch because that's what you look like to me. But you're a great player. There's something inconsistent about Houston that.
Gary Kubiak.
Well, yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe it comes down to coaching. But I'm with you. If they stay healthy, I see them taking this division. The Colts, you sort of poo-pooed the Colts.
I poo-poo them.
He poo-pooed them. Alfred Papuno. Wow,
Winnie the Poo-Poo.
Where'd that? I loved Alfred Papuno. Crack the coconut. Anyone remember him? Tight end.
Put the lime. Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yes. Anyway, getting back to football, Andrew Luck revitalized the Colts. They were nothing for the year that Peyton was hurt.
Yeah, they nosedive so they get Andrew Luck. Good job.
Yeah, well, some teams never get a franchise quarterback. I mean, look at the Cardinals, look at the Jets, look at the Jaguars, look at bad teams. They never get a franchise quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And the Colts seriously seem to have landed one clear Hall of Famer and one potential Hall of Famer based on his first season. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm with you, though. I think that the Colts fall back a little bit. I was surprised at how good they did last year. I think some of that was luck, Andrew. I think some of that was luck, just good luck. I think the schedule worked in their advantage. I don't think their defense.
Agreed. They were 1-15 the year before. You didn't play anybody.
Right. I think their defense lacks playmakers. I don't see their running game scaring anybody. I don't see how the Colts win this division. I think it's clearly the Texans. And then I'm going with the Titans.
Agreed.
I like Jake Locker. I have a sort of a thing for wild, crazy quarterbacks that will just sling it all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
The Brett Favres of the world, the gunslinger thing. I don't see that they're going to be very good. I think that when you said that the Texans have basically 6 wins, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 5. The Colts might split with them.
Yeah, probably. I mean, they don't have anyone in defense. They lost a couple players. I agree. I think Locker's coming into his own. Chris Johnson, as long as you got somebody like Chris Johnson to hand the ball off to, you have the opportunity at least to run the fake.
Yeah, but the Chris Johnson's consistent great games seem a long time ago.
Yeah, but he's still a threat, and they have to respect it. If he's in the backfield, you do have to respect it. That gives Locker at least, it's not like, Boog Powell's in the backfield or whatever.
He's one Kenny Britt DWI away from being
that's
out of receivers.
Yeah,
the Titans better have a very good punter
and get a new uniform. I watched your game the other day. What the hell? That sissy sword with what is that?
It's certainly not a Titan.
I mean, get a really strong-looking fish on your hat.
Flipper.
They call him Flipper. And Jacksonville's on their way to L.A. I think I've said this 3 years in a row. Just go.
We'll talk about missing out on when you miss out on a franchise quarterback, it changes your entire organization. Your drafting is different.
Mm-hmm.
Your ability to bring in free agents is different. Who's saying to themselves, I'm going to run down to Jacksonville and play with that collection of talent?
Mm-hmm.
What wide receiver is saying to themselves, boy, I can't wait to get Blaine Gabbert throwing me the ball. Your coaches have to dial back their plans. They can't unleash a very complex offensive playbook. You're not even sure who your starting QB is going to be half the time.
Right.
So Jacksonville is doomed. Their attendance is pitiful, and they are headed somewhere else soon. Most likely.
Yeah, their owner says no, but I got to think that there's a line out there to pull them into LA.
Oh, sure.
All right, so that's what we got. We got Houston, Indy, Tennessee, and Jacksonville. That's the way we see it. Boy, we're agreeing way too much this year so
We'll
far.
fight over the NFC. The AFC, we just
that'll be interesting. But when we come back, we're going to have more electric football for you. So stay tuned.
AFC West, and this is another division where let's run them down. You've got Denver, you've got Oakland, you've got KC, and you've got the Chargers, and you also have another division with a clear-cut winner, and that is Denver. Peyton Manning, he gets richer with Little Wes Welker. That Little Wes Welker, as I like to call him. They were one fantastically poor secondary play away from beating the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
One of the worst plays I've ever seen on the defensive side of the ball. So Peyton Manning could have last year been playing for a Super Bowl and tying his brother in Super Bowl victories, I might add. And they've gotten better. Now, they do have Von Miller suspended.
Mm-hmm. Not for long, 4 games, something like that?
Was it 4 or 6?
Yeah.
Anyway, they'll be fine.
In that division, they got 6 easy wins anyway.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not 6.
They'll be fine. Following Denver, I would have to go with Kansas City.
I like Kansas City this year.
I liked them last year.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
God.
That's my English major background, guys. A little Shakespeare there for you.
Wow.
But, yeah,
Lesbian.
that was one. I'm a lesbian?
Thespian.
Oh, thank you. That organization fell apart last year. They had tragedy. They were lackluster on the field. They're bringing in Andy Reid, who's a great coach.
That was the best pickup they had this year.
Yeah.
I mean, besides Alex Smith, who so far in the preseason is looking pretty sharp.
Well, I mean, he looked sharp for San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy that lost his job in a very, very unique way. That doesn't happen very often in the NFL. And he's got a pass-happy coach now. They've got some talented wide receivers.
And they drafted the tight end Kelts, who, number 2 guy in the tight ends in the draft. That was a great pickup. They got Eric Fisher with the first pick of the draft, to help protect Alex Smith. This is starting to look like a team.
Shore up the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Give Jamal Charles some room to run.
Yep.
KC, every year they disappoint me. I think they're going to be the number 2 team in this division.
They could challenge.
Surprisingly, the rest of the division's a bit of a mess. The Chargers, remember when they were a talented team and Norv Turner used to kill them?
No.
Now they're not a talented team. They are, Phillip Rivers has not quite lived up to his draft status.
Mm-hmm.
They're bleeding talent. Their offensive line is no longer the fearsome group that it once was. Right. What's his name? Ryan Matthews hasn't exactly set the world on fire. I think the Chargers might be better than Oakland because they're Oakland.
Right. Well, I think Manti Te'o, he's going to just pretend they won the division, and that'll be that. So, thank God for the Charger girls. That's all I can say with this team.
Yes, the 2 teams watching the cheerleaders for the 2 teams in the bottom of this division is going to be your best.
Yeah, really.
They should be in the lingerie bowl with their cheerleaders.
Yeah, and we'll tune over when they're playing each other.
Right. It's instead of Oakland and San Diego, they're really not going to be able to compete.
Puffs.
I mean, look, at least the Chargers have a viable quarterback. Oakland doesn't.
Right.
So
Terrell Pryor at this point, and we're taping this with 2 weeks to go before the full season starts. So,
yeah, but I mean, who would have thought? So
that's the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, you lost Carson Palmer. You wouldn't think you could do much worse, but you did.
Yeah. Right now, the quarterback's a sandwich, and that would win more games than who they have on the team.
Are we in agreement again? Denver,
I believe we are.
KC?
Denver, KC, San Diego,
Oakland. There you go.
Boy, this is like...
this is no fun. Let's move over to the NFC.
We'll be right back.
We'll get the fighting.